Hello, social science, and welcome to the first ever SSSC podcast. For those of you who don't know, the SSSC stands for the Social Science Students Council. We're a faculty council at Western University, and we are so excited to start this podcast and connect more with all of you. My name is Emma, and I am the Vice President Events, and I'm doing an honors specialization in sociology. Here with me today are two very special guests. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Hey friends, my name is Zamir and I am your president this year. I am in fourth year politics, philosophy, and economics. And I'm so excited for the podcast.
Hi, and my name is Maeve and I am the VP Academics. I'm also in my fourth year and I'm doing a honors double major in crim and poli-sci.
Awesome. So excited. So today we're going to be talking about getting back into school. I know this is going to be a very different year, so I kind of just wanted to hear from you guys how you've been handling Zoom University. But before that, let's just kind of go back to first year. What do you guys think about when you think about your first year? Like, what kind of experiences stand out to you?
For me, I think like the biggest thing that I think of when I think of first year is just like the adjustment period that I personally had. Coming from high school to university, was a big change academically and socially. So just kind of getting adjusted to the new environment was kind of difficult for me personally. I mean, once I got into a routine, it was much better. But, I had experienced a bit of a grade drop, which, is completely normal. But yeah, I feel like just that adjustment period is kind of what stands out for me when I think of my first year.
I think my high school was really different demographically than Western, and so it was definitely a bit of an adjustment hopping into this new environment. I think I was also in science for a little bit of time, and in health science. Yep, I did all three sciences in my first year, so I think I struggled a little bit to find community. But I joined the Social Science Student Council at the end of the year as the secretary, and I was able to make some friends through there. Yeah, Maeve was one of them. You were one of them. No, we knew each other from first year too, eh?
Lamp.
Join Lamp, you guys.
Yeah, great club. That's awesome. Yeah, honestly, I think when I think back to my first year, I also had a little bit of a hard time, but I think that accessing counseling services at Western really did help. So I feel like my biggest tip would be to reach out if you need help. It really does help, and it really does make a difference in how your first year goes. So yeah, Maeve, how did you deal with kind of your first bad grade in university?
I cried about it, I think, actually. I had a good cry. Because I don't know, for me at least, my high school was pretty small, so I feel like my grades were super inflated. So coming into university when you're being compared to the same level of student that I was in high school at least, it was difficult for me. But honestly, I kind of mentioned before, it's all about just adjusting. You have to realize, that this is a different environment. Professors do expect a bit more from you than your high school teachers did. So I think, I had a good cry about it for sure. But then I just kind of pulled up my socks. I was like, okay, you know what? I can learn from this experience. I took the criticism, and moving forward, I just applied that to my work. And I just kind of rolled with it and took the punch,
I think everything feels, especially in first year, really, really consequential. But, you aren't your student number, you aren't your lowest grade, and you also aren't your highest grade. And it's really important to just remove yourself from that numerical value. And honestly, are we allowed to swear?
Yeah.
So shitty grades are just they're just a part of first year. You're gonna have one or two. But yeah, like May said, it's all about how you pick up the pieces, and there's so many resources at Western to make sure you're able to, work on whatever that flaw is that brought you down. But you just have to be able to recognize first what that flaw was.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's kind of get into online class tips.
Woohoo!
I don't know about you guys, but Zoom University has been kicking my ass, and it's been 1 week. How are you guys kind of handling the online classes, whether that be synchronous or asynchronous?
Have you guys noticed that, the syllabi are different this year? And
Yes.
Yeah, and we have a lot more smaller assignments.
Weekly things.
Yeah. I'm finding that's a lot harder to tackle just because, for 3 years it's been, 2 essays and a final or, something very segmented like that. So you have to be a lot more regulated.
They're really making sure we keep our shit together.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think what is helping me for, like, I went out of my way to make sure all my courses were synchronous just because I operate better on a schedule. But for my asynchronous courses, what I've been doing is still setting aside chunks of time in my calendar so I don't forget them, because I know myself and I probably will if I don't have a routine.
Yeah, no, I did something very similar. Like, I sat down for painstaking, 2 hours and went through all of my syllabuses, or syllabi.
Syllabi.
Thank you.
BP Academics.
Woo! Represent. I went through all of them and put on a big Google Calendar, what I had due, when I had them due, what classes I had at certain times, so I can just, reference that back and know kind of what I'm doing. Because, same thing. If I don't make a schedule for myself, I will let something slip, and it won't be good.
Yeah, I think that for me, I've noticed that, a lot of my courses that, I looked up old syllabi for them, and they'd been, kind of the multiple choice exams with maybe, one essay, but now that it's online, it's a lot more, essays, written assignments, which is not as much my strong suit as exams are. So I think, I'm in 4th year, and even now I feel like I'm going to kind of have to learn new ways of working and kind of just really try and get better at essay writing, which is funny because it's my 4th year. Maybe I should be better at it.
But I feel like migrating to an online format is going to be, a learning curve for everyone, including the professors.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone can be super prepared, just trying your best.
Can I also just quickly say, the school year looks really, really different this year. And there are a lot of things that need to be improved on, especially for students who don't have the strongest connection to Wi-Fi, or who don't really thrive outside of a traditional in-person context. But there still are a lot of benefits to online learning. I think at the top of the list, the fact that it's more affordable than in-person counterparts. The fact that you're able to kind of learn at your own pace. And so I think I've noticed I like to really get down on myself and be like, oh my god, this is the worst year ever. I wish I was ending 4th year differently.
Yeah.
But it's also important to look out for those 1 or 2 silver linings, no matter how rare they are.
Yeah, I also even found today, I was kind of happy I didn't have to trek my ass to campus. I do
we hate buses. We hate walking.
I did the fact that I could just, get up, make breakfast, sit down. The one tip I would give is to not do Zoom classes in your bed, because I've been doing that and I've found that I have the worst time just kind of focusing and staying engaged within the class. I find I can't really think of anything to say because I'm sitting in my bed. So I would, if you guys can, do it at a desk or do it at your kitchen table, just outside of your bedroom would be a good
What's
idea.
Your favorite study space on campus?
On campus? Honestly, this sounds dumb and no one's going to agree, but the social science building, I feel like I spend my life here. It's close to the UCC. I can go get Starbucks every single day. What about you guys?
I think I really spent a lot of time last year in University College just because of the light. I don't know. I like, bright light when I when I study, and natural light. So I would say I spent most of my time last year there.
Okay, you guys kind of stole my answers. I love the social site reading room, and I do love
Yes,
because of those wide tables and everything. But if you are willing to make a bit of a trek to the northern tip of campus, the WIRB, the Western Interdisciplinary Research Building, so pretty, and people don't really use it, and so I go there for every exam season, and I'm able to just really focus.
Nice.
Yes, so true. Also off campus is the King's College Library. I spend all of my exam periods there. It's very pretty, but yeah.
Or support your local coffee shop.
Yes.
So true. Where do you go all the time, Maeve?
I go downtown to, there's this one I found, it's new. It's the social, it's really colorful. I don't know what it's called.
I go to Black Walnut, which is, they have really nice lattes, guys. Check them out.
No, it's not. What is the one that we go to all the time?
We go to Williams Cafe.
No.
Reset. Yeah.
Reset.
Come on, basic Western girl.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so Black Walnut,
Reset,
and Williams Cafe. Give them your business. They're super cute.
And it's a Commonwealth. That one's cool too.
Oh, yeah.
Very
That's
nice.
like a good way, especially this year, to get off campus and get out of, if you're in first year, get out of residence, but also like get out of your house, because I find student housing can get tiring to be in. Okay, so let's get into some first year specific tips. I know we kind of chatted about our first years and how we dealt with the trials and tribulations, but academically, like what kind of tips do you guys have for first years who might be stressed out or getting adjusted?
I would say, honestly, utilize professors' office hours. Like, don't be afraid to, like I said, go to office hours, write them an email. Like, if you're not clear on something, ask. I know in my first year, I was super nervous about speaking to anyone about, like, literally anything when it came to academics. I was like, oh my God, they're going to think I'm stupid. I ended up, that ended up being more detrimental in the long run. Professors, they are here to help. Like Zamir mentioned before, you're not just a number. Like, you are a person. And if you need help, reach out. Like, I know in first year you have a lot of TAs. Those are also great resources to reach out to. You also have like your faculty softs. For most of you in first year will have one. Even if they're not in your program, they also are a great resource to connect you to other people or other like campus resources as well. So yeah, like if you have a question, try to figure out some way or someone that can answer it for you. Don't just like leave it to yourself.
Yeah.
I would say for myself, academic expectations are so different in first year versus high school. And one of the biggest challenges I found was writing my first year poli-sci essay because I was so used to like that
the
class.
Hamburger.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
And what I would say to that is that there are many, many supports out there if you do need essay writing help. The biggest of which is the Writing Support Center, and you can actually like just free of charge book Zoom appointments with them at writing.uwo.ca. But also your faculty softs run like essay writing sessions. I remember last year I helped out at one at Delhi, and it was like a great way to not just like meet my frosh, but also other peers. So definitely just like take a second, figure out what resources are available to you and make the most of them, because they are resources that you are already investing in when you pay for your tuition and ancillary fees. And on that note, because Maeve is being humble, let me plug the academic guidebook. Check out SSSCwestern.com for your academic guidebook. You also received it in an email from me if you're a first year student. And it has so many academic and wellness related resources, your connections to your department representatives. And it's something that I wish I got in first year. I also wish I was in social science first year, but
you're here now.
Exactly, I made it. But make the most of those resources and check them out because they are very, very helpful.
Yeah, and as a student council, like we're also here for you to connect you to resources. Like we signed up for this, we got elected to these positions. Like we genuinely want, the people in our faculty to succeed. So please come and, find one of us, stalk us on our socials. Like we would love to hear from you.
And Maeve, do you want to talk a little bit about the DEP reps and kind of what they're here for and how they can support students as well?
Right. So Zamir mentioned the best way to kind of find out who your DEP rep is, if you didn't get the academic guidebook in that email he sent out, was going to the website. Under the academics tab and also the Meet Your Council tab, there are pictures and contact information for each of the department representatives. So what is a department representative? So each program in the faculty has a specific department representative, and they're elected to the position based on, them knowing a lot about the particular program that they're in. So they're a great resource for you to kind of connect with if you have, academic program specific questions. And even if they're not sure of the answer themselves, they know, the right resources that you will need. So yeah, take a look at that. They're super fun. They're super nice. Don't be scared of them. They're great people. So yeah, look them up, give them a shout, email them. Yeah.
What I'm hearing kind of from your answers and kind of what we've chatted about is reach out. I feel like that's the biggest tip that we could give first years, or honestly anybody at university. Like if you're struggling, reach out to wellness resources. If you have academic questions, reach out to your SOF, reach out to TAs, professors. Everyone wants you to succeed. They want you to do well. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there and ask someone. So with that, let's get into the next section. This is a more fun one, and it's kind of about staying involved and how to get involved on campus. So if you guys want to talk about that and kind of how clubs and the SSSC have impacted your student careers.
Yeah, I can kick us off. I know, so the summer before I came to Western, I worked for the Ministry of Training, Colleges, and Universities just as an intern, and it really exposed me to the world of student advocacy, and I've been so interested in it ever since, just because students are able to really tangibly create changes on our campus. And so that's why I got involved with the Social Science Students Council. And one thing I know all of us were a little bit disappointed by is the fact that there wasn't a specific portfolio dedicated to advocacy work alone. And so this year we've made one, and I am so proud of all the work we're doing. And I definitely encourage people to, check it out, get involved. Let us know what concerns you're identifying on campus because, like I said, we are able to make tangible changes. And just to provide some examples, like your social science student council executive actually, wrote a letter to the finance minister to request financial aid for students in light of the pandemic. And I'm confident that that was a contributing factor to programs like the CESB. We've also been consulted when it comes to Western's new gender-based violence policy. We've been advocating for improvements to lighting on campus to make sure our queer and female identifying students are able to get home safely. These are, at the end of the day, like, social science is a family, we're a community, and we are, I guess, we're all in this together. So get involved in this.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Maeve's doing a high school musical
Sorry.
dance. You can't see it.
You can't see it. I was just, anyways.
I know for me, like, in first year, I came out of being a competitive dancer, and my biggest worry was that I wouldn't be able to have that dance community, or really just have that, like, physical wellness aspect of, staying active. So my advice to any first years who have an interest, whether that be dance, whether that be a type of sport, or something like music related, literally anything at all, there will be a club on campus for you. There's language clubs, there's cultural clubs, there's Kaiza, Dance Force, all different types of things that you guys can get involved in. For me, those have been the most rewarding parts of my university career is creating community at clubs. Sophing has been a huge part. Apply to Soph when the apps come out. Putting yourself out there at the end of the day is what's going to create you those memories. And even if you put yourself out there and you don't get a position, I know that's happened to all of us. Life goes on.
Okay, so Maeve and I both lost elections at Social Science Student Council, but look at us now.
It was a humbling experience that I think we both needed.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to kind of say reiterate what Emma was saying, find what you love and go for it. Because at the end of the day, what's that really cheesy quote? It's like you miss every shot you don't take.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yes.
Exactly. Right?
Yes.
I know sports.
Right.
I'm a big sports guy.
Us too.
For sure, yeah. We're all sports queens here. But yeah, no, honestly, find what you love and full send.
What?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Maeve, and I'm your cool VP academic.
I am.
Oh, God.
100%. I'm trying to be serious here. Find what you love and just go for it. Because at the end of the day, the worst thing that happens is you don't get it. And you try for something again. And you know what? If you're like Zamir or myself, you'll end up where you're supposed to be. So.
And actually, the week that this is coming out is virtual USC Clubs Week. So I think the link is on the USC website. You guys can kind of go through all the clubs, find what you're interested in. There's about a zillion clubs at Western. So yeah, you won't regret it.
And as great as clubs are, so are faculty councils and governance.
Ooh, baby.
If you attend 3 all-council meetings, you automatically get the designation of student voice representative.
Woo!
And you're able to sit on any one of our portfolios, whether you're passionate about events, academics, communications, governance, finance, advocacy. You're able to really pick and choose where you want to contribute on our council and are able to help make a really, really meaningful change. And so if you want to know when our next meeting is, definitely just check us out on social media. All our handles are at SSSC Western, or just check out our website, SSSCwestern.com, because I like to say that we can never have too many voices in student government. So definitely have your voice heard as well.
For sure.
Absolutely. Okay, so now for the last and most important question. What's your spoke order?
I am a kitchen type of guy.
Okay.
No, I respect it.
Thank you. As much as I love a good bagel, but this is gonna be a bad one. Listen,
No, it's
guys,
fine.
I am trying to cut down my beef intake. However, the spoke burger hits different.
Oh, I've never had it.
I use this analogy when I was talking to AirPod and Munch if they are your fact sauce, but I said it kind of melts in your mouth like an Aero bar.
Okay. That's concerning.
See, that's what they said, but personally, I think it's the perfect texture. I'm a big fan, would recommend it. Best food ever.
Do you get fries or sweet potato fries with it?
Fries.
Okay.
I'm a classic type of person.
Right.
Okay, I love that.
Right.
Maeve, what's yours?
I'm going to go for the traditional bagel. So for mine, I get what is it? Not the mushroom. It's the jalapeno cheddar bagel with spinach and feta cream cheese. I have been having that since first year, and it never fails to just hit the spot.
See, and I would love to try that, except for I'm lactose intolerant, so cheers.
Okay.
So she goes to the spoke bar and she gets a stallion.
So mine is a plain bagel, turkey bagel, which half turkey.
Why have to we?
Because no, she hates when they put too much turkey on it. Like, it's a big deal.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. There's always too much turkey, so I always say
You should
turkey
just be like,
bagel.
I want 3 slices of turkey. Like,
I really
half, count out how many, and then make them hate.
I'd honestly say a quarter turkey. Like, I really don't like a lot of meat on the bagel.
You should just bring your own turkey slices.
And then just add it on.
Exactly.
Just be like, give me the bagel with the whatever's on it, and just add your own turkey.
Good idea, you guys. Well, that brings us to the end of our first SSSC podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
And we will see you guys next time. Bye.